Hello everybody, and I hope all of you are having a great day so far. This is your fourth stimulus check update and news report. In this video, we'll be discussing the latest news surrounding Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI news, and of course, a fourth stimulus check of $1,000 a month. Now if you guys agree that our politicians in Congress must send out a fourth stimulus check, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much everybody, I truly appreciate all of your amazing support. Now folks, here's the latest stimulus check news.
Cases are down in 49 of 50 states. New York Times has reported that hospitalizations are the lowest they've been since April of 2020, over a year ago.
An advocacy group for seniors projects that the annual cost of living adjustment for 2022 will be 4.7%, although it notes that the inflation rate has been volatile and can change before the final adjustment in October. The projected increase reflects the rebound in consumer prices. Gasoline prices have been rising steadily since the beginning of the year and are expected to keep going up as summer travel increases. COLAs are calculated using the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. If prices don't increase or fail, the COLA is zero, and that happened in 2010 and 2011 as the economy struggled to recover from the Great Recession, and again in 2016 when plummeting oil prices wiped out the COLA for that year. In 2020 everybody, the COLA increased payouts by 1.3%. In addition folks, after more than a decade of small or non-existent cost of living adjustments to Social Security benefits, tens of millions of Americans across the country could get their largest COLA in 13 years in 2022. Inflationary trends across a range of industries, ones reflecting the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, have prompted the Senior Citizens League to predict a COLA of 4.7% for more than 60 million beneficiaries next year. The advocacy group released its forecast May 12th, ahead of the Social Security Administration's official COLA adjustment or announcement in October. And the COLA projection has jumped by more than 3 percentage points since January, primarily due to higher gasoline costs and home heating expenses. Beneficiaries haven't received a COLA as high as 4.7% since they got a 5.8% hike back in 2009. That's according to the Social Security Administration. And there was a 3.6% COLA in 2012, but that came after 2 straight years at 0%. Seniors received 0% in 2016 and 0.3% the following year. So the past decade or so has been some of the smallest COLAs since they began in 1975. From 2000 to the present day, COLAs have pushed up average monthly Social Security payments by 55%. But typical expenses for older adults have grown by as much as 102% as of March. Senior advocates have been calling for years of legislation that would connect COLAs to a different index called the Consumer Price Index for the elderly. The Social Security 2100 Act is a comprehensive bill aimed at the long-term solvency of the program that attracted more than 200 co-sponsors in the last Congress, but which failed to pass the House or the Senate. And folks, that is all the news in this video. If any of you guys found this video useful and helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, and give this video a like.
Thank you so much for joining. I won't mention Larry Summers. But you mentioned UI, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
But I just want to understand the White House's position on the enhanced UI. Is it the White House's position that enhanced payments for unemployment insurance isn't having any effect on the supply side of labor markets?
So I will tell you what I think this is our position is that the decision to enter the labor market is very complicated right now. That the primary determinants for people to make that decision are is there a suitable job available? What's the status of the virus? What are the health considerations? And what are the care considerations? The president has emphasized that if a worker is offered a suitable job, they must take it if they're on unemployment insurance benefits. We recognize we're in an unprecedented recession, that we have a long way to go, and we want to be in the position of helping employers understand how they can be bringing back employees part-time, which is going to be the suitable way for more employers to bring back more workers. They can't go from 0 to 100 just overnight. Through short-time compensation, reminding employers that there's the employee retention tax credit. And so we recognize that right now, most of those who are who are working age are not fully vaccinated. It's going to take time. But workers, as they become fully vaccinated, as the economy starts to open up, we're expecting that they will be looking for suitable jobs, and they will be finding them, and we will get back to normalcy sooner than later.
Is or is not a factor for supply side on the labor market?
So there are many factors that go into whether a person is taking a job, right? If somebody is not fully vaccinated, if there's still a lot of COVID in their area, if they have still childcare constraints, there are many factors that this pandemic has caused that are going to play into people's decision and ability to go back to work. UI has served a very important role through this pandemic. It has allowed people to pay the rent, which we know is very important for the landlord. It's allowed people to put food on the table, which is important for them and their families. And so we stand behind that those are very important supports. They are supports to help us bridge to the end of this pandemic. So we believe that it's complicated, but that the labor market will be healing, and we are standing at the ready, and we want to encourage that to happen as quickly as safely possible.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Nancy, kick us off.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. I hear what you're saying about the fact that the economic numbers are going to be kind of unpredictable right now, but what did you make of the jump in consumer prices last month, the largest hike since 2008?
Yes, I mean, that's obviously an important question, and it was interesting to me that even the Federal Reserve was a bit surprised by the jump. So we hadn't forecasted that. Forecasters hadn't expected that. But if you dig below the surface, what you see is, for example, 30% of that increase was in the used car sales market. And we know that there are supply chain issues there with the semiconductors. And if you think about getting back and healing markets, we know that rental car companies are buying, they have to replenish their stocks because they liquidated their stocks last year when people were not renting cars. We know that because of the American Rescue Plan, people were buying cars because many people were afraid of taking public transit, which is not good either. But instead of taking public transit, they wanted to buy more new cars. But with the shortage in the semiconductor supply chain, the supply just wasn't meeting demand. So that's where a big part of the jump was. Another part was in those sectors that were really hit by the virus. We saw some of them are starting to come back. The most vivid example that we found was in the airline industry, where we saw a 10% increase in their prices month to month. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I know lots of, okay, I'm working here, so I don't get time to do this, but other people I know are looking forward to taking time off this summer, and they're buying airplane tickets. So there was a 20% increase in airline tickets, but it's still a 10% increase in airline tickets, but it's still 20% below where it was before the pandemic.